Okay, he is actually the founder of Life Research Wellness Private Limited, Singapore. In this 2012, he already founded this. And it's actually to provide the healthcare solution and optimization by integrating the most advanced methodologies of predictive health screening and also successfully developed a healthcare monitoring system that is being widely used in China, providing the cancer support through the non-invasive procedure to monitor the cancer patient's health markers. Since 2014, he has been focusing on investigating and researching the epigenetic factors which affecting our health and well-being. Today, the topic that he's going to share with us is your well-being begins with the environment. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Dr. Michael Dan from Singapore. So, Dr. Michael, are you ready?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, EMC. Is my slide visible?
Yes, yeah, we can see your slide.
Okay, thank you very much. And the first speaker and second speaker have done a fantastic job of encouraging people to look at readapting and understanding the challenges that we are facing. And of course, Dr. Aziz has also stated very clearly how we age, why we age. And of course, in my last 20 years of research, I've been focusing on sustainable and quality aging right from the beginning. Since the day we are born to age all the way. So we are going to focus today on just 5 core fundamentals that have been missing for a long, long time while we are actually living with it all the time. So let us first look at some of the statistics in aging population, especially pertaining to Malaysia, which is very similar to Singapore. But Malaysia is interesting because you are one of the country that is very concerned, and we are ranked number 4, right? We're very worried. And more than 60 to 70% are worried and believe that there is a possibility to improve and solve the solution of aging, which otherwise, if the entire population are not concerned, then we may be facing a tremendous challenge in overloading the social economic, the healthcare, the insurance eventually, right? And of course, to study and understand aging, then we have to look at chronic illnesses. As we know that chronic illnesses have always been increasing. Beside Malaysia, WHO have stated clearly in their years of data collection, from 1970 onwards to the year 2020, chronic illnesses death have been alarming, increasing from 30 to 80%. And these have given rise to the entire healthcare expenditure in the whole world, including this region. And that does not spare Singapore and Malaysia. And of course, when we are still healthy, we have to start to think of aging rather than we start to work with aging population. And then by the time we are able to take care of the early aging population, we will have another wave, which is the younger generation, which will age eventually. And all of us are facing a simple common problem. We are all seeking for common solution because today, everyone is facing sleep challenge, especially in all advanced countries, and we work long hours. We are exposed to all kind of electromagnetic technology, especially the mobile phone and the LED lighting and other screen, including the TV. And of course, now for the last 1 hour or so, we are staring at our computer screen. And of course, we need better clarity even as we age so that we know how to focus on quality living and to enhance better relationship. Of course, beside aging population, across the entire younger generation that is going to work to support the aging population, we require improved performance and relationship, which have been shared in the first 2-3 days, right? Then it doesn't matter whether we are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, or 80, we should always strive to look good, look better, because it is part of aging gracefully, right? And then feeling better is the key towards quality living across all ages. With all this improvement, we will then look at reducing ache and pain, which is so common the moment we passes 40 years old. Occupational hazard, the long hours of typing on the keyboard, the long hour of staring at the computer, and the long hour of putting the head and neck out looking at our mobile phone create tons of ache and pain eventually. So the answer is, how do we then look at enhancing the quality of living across the whole spectrum, across the entire nation, not just focusing on aging, while aging become a primary important now because every country is getting into the aging population. Right. So solutions should be looked at not just for age, but across all ages. And today we are confronted with all kinds of depression, dementia, 5 basic chronic illnesses, and many, many others. Simply because we have now embraced an indoor generation. From the moment you wake up to work, to sleep, to education, to entertaining, and in view of COVID, we are all caught living, working, playing, sleeping, resting, enjoying inside. Therefore, the environment that's going to support you become highly critical. Although you have been all these years in the modern day life, we have spent a lot of time indoor, but we have never placed any importance. And we have been focusing on many, many other support care, and we have overlooked the entire environment that we are so dependent on, especially when we retire. You may check in the retirement home or in daycare or palliative care, you are literally bounded indoor. So as we know, there's such thing as sick building syndrome, and the sick building syndrome is across the entire population, across the entire group. And in America, up to $60 billion of revenue are lost because the building is sick. And worker productivity dropped tremendously due to constant poor health. And when we retired, imagine the entire retirement facility do not look into the actual environment they're going to support. And then the same symptoms that we face when we are healthy will now be extended to retirement. Sick building is not just about the building being sick. It starts with the most common is air. And we know we breathe up to approximately 18 kg a day for every day from birth to death. So we should be very concerned. And especially in view of COVID, we are even more concerned now of contamination in the air, besides poor quality air. And as you can see, Malaysia has progressed tremendously to become a beautiful city. And being an advanced city, the whole city is lighted up with artificial light. And this light itself is causing major changes in the ecological system. And if you look at the picture on the left, it is a photo which I took at 10 p.m. on my way home. A beautiful apartment, but you can see that many of the homes at 10 p.m. are using white light. And from the picture, you can see that they're emitting blue ray. And some of the blue ray are even very, very high. And we know that constant exposure from daytime, when we go to work in the office is flooded with artificial white light. And by the time we go back home, we may be working with our children, we may be looking after our parent and including ourselves. And today we may be working even long hour, and because of time frame between the world, we may be working extended hour. And many homes are equipped with white light. And this white light, according to many country research, including National Institute of Health, American Medical Association, Harvard University, since 2011, state artificial light at night is significantly correlated for all forms of cancer, as well as lung, breast, colorectal, prostate. And we must take immediate action to limit our exposure. So this, beside air, the light that we are going to design for our current home and the future of retirement home, area where the hospital work 24/7 to save people, the environment is the only thing that's going to give them support to keep them well. And of course, you can see today, more than 43% of adults work in jobs that require prolonged use of the computer or tablet. And it is not just 43%. In fact, in view of COVID, we are now relying on the computer to work round the clock. Yeah. And even at this time, about 9 o'clock, we are still having our workshop, our conference, and all our friends out there who are tuning in will be watching the monitor, or some may be using the mobile phone, and the light will be turned on. And if you look at it, you may want to check, have all the listeners, including all the panel, set their computer screen and your mobile phone to night mode. If you have not, please go ahead and set it to night mode so that it will not disrupt the ability for the body to produce melatonin, which is a very important component in terms of regenerative and functional care to the body. Right. Next, the world are very concerned about water and the kind of contamination water may take place simply because we may be living in home that have been around for 10, 20, 30 years. And we do not know the quality or the wear and tear of all these systems that may be taking place. So it is so important today that at every stage of the water supply, we need to be able to monitor, and even right up to the final stage before we drink the water, we need to be able to take care of it. And without it, we are just overloading the body with heavy metal, although it is very low, but long term, just like Dr. Aziz said, we have to resort to other form of detoxification. And today, we are working towards smart city. And the fastest we go, the better and more efficient we are. But that put us with increased exposure to constant electromagnetic field emission. And according to Lloyd of London, a study carried out in 2015, for the first 10 years of emission to wireless technology, there is no conclusive evidence of potential health challenge. However, they are uncertain beyond the 10 years. Now, if we look at another report, WHO stated 2011 classified radio frequency electromagnetic field as possibly carcinogenic. And today we are going beyond simple wireless technology as we are fighting to increase speed. And of course, since the early 17th, 18th century, the Germans have discovered through all their several ministries, especially the Ministry of Housing, that there is a certain electromagnetic field between the earth and the surface where we work, we live. And when this field get disturbed by earth movement, by underground construction, like underground tunnel, underground speed train, cable being laid, this particular field get stressed, and the stress itself again cause the suppression of the production of melatonin over a period of 10, 20, 30 years when we stay every night for 8 hours within the same space if the particular bed area is being stressed. So how does it look like? Let us take a look. Now you can see that the house below, there is an electromagnetic field generated by Earth to protect us against the solar energy, but at the same time, it gives birth to life. However, this electromagnetic grid, when it is within life supporting, it gives birth to life, according to Luc Montagnier, the Nobel Prize winner for discovering HIV. However, when this electromagnetic grid get highly disturbed, and when we know that the grid may be cutting the head, cutting the stomach, cutting the prostate, cutting the breast, it may eventually lead to potential loss of bio potential. And long term, you will have cellular weaknesses leading to all form of potential chronic illnesses. And this will accelerate when we passes the age of 60 and we may be retired and we spend more time lying down, sleeping for those who are weaker. And all these challenges will accelerate the life force and the functional part of the human body, right? So today, inadvertently, in 2017, Bill Clinton started wellness initiative in America, and they have adopted a new concept known as wellness building. And here in this part of the world, together in Singapore, China, Russia, Malaysia, Life Research has spent the last 15, 20 years working towards standardizing and creating sustainable and workable environmental care, taking into consideration air, water, lighting, electromagnetic field, and geomagnetic stress. So understanding the effect of environmental toxicity at your home and at your working space is fundamental and essential to knowing how it affects our health and our total well-being, as what you have seen earlier, right? And I must say and congratulate Dream Home and Malaysian for Dream Home as a developer to embrace wellness real estate and truly the first wellness real estate to implement what we have shared: control air care, control light care, control water care, control electromagnetic field, control geomagnetic field. And of course, as what EMC have shared, I spent my early years developing simple system for continuous monitoring, right? And because of artificial intelligence, we are also putting all these monitoring system right straight into Dream Home. And this could be across every home, which then the data collected can help policymaker, developer, university to develop new possibility.
Dr. Michael,
And yes,
3 more
yes,
minutes.
okay. And I'm just about to complete, just nice. Global Wellness Institute 2020-21, the trend is to emphasize on home wellness and immunity. And together with all the panel and decision maker and stakeholder and NGO is to be able to come together to put every possible angle to enhance the quality of humanity throughout the whole spectrum of age, especially providing even better environment for the retiree. With this, I would like to thank you very much, everyone, for listening in. And we will be looking forward for further sharing at the end of this session. Thank you very much.